right here on Penn's Peak Radio with me, Casey, and Wall to Wall Country. How y'all doing? Cresting into the second hour of the show. And we also heard a little something from Dustin Collins in there. One of his latest. It's a little something called Straight Up, like in a drink. Hey, 7 minutes after the top of the hour, and we are on our way through another great edition of the show. And as always, we have a very special guest in the second hour of the show. And I've been telling you about this guy a little bit, but now we have the opportunity to hear it right from the guy himself. Mr. Matt Farris is on the phone and in the show. Hey, Matt, how you doing today?
Good. How's it going?
I am good, and very excited to have you on the show today. A new and upcoming artist getting out there and doing some fun things, and we want to know all about you. I know you're an Arizona native, and you did you went to some schooling and some things early on, but I think it's best always if the artist kind of tells their story a little bit about where you came from and how you ended up putting on the boots and becoming a country music star. So,
yeah.
why don't you go ahead and give my listening audience a little bit of a background on who Matt Farris is and where he comes from.
Well, I actually grew up in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, but I was born in Grants Pass, Oregon.
Okay.
And then when I was 6 months old, I started living in Lake Havasu, went through school there. There was always country music growing up. My mom always sang like Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson, and that was my lullabies as a child. So it was kind of country music was always ingrained in my soul, you could say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I started doing talent shows and singing and stuff when I was real young, just because I thought it was fun. And one of the first songs I did in a talent show was Achy Breaky Heart. So it kind of goes back a little bit, but I did the EMT thing, and I worked in an ambulance, but I brought my guitar in the back of an ambulance, and I knew that playing music was something I wanted to do, and it's where I felt comfortable, was behind the guitar and behind a microphone, and I wanted to go ahead and take that risk, and I did the Colgate Country Showdown, which is now just the Country Showdown, in 2010. It was October 8th, I believe.
Okay.
And a guy came up to me at the end, and I got second place at state. And a guy came up at the end and said, "You really should think about moving to Nashville." I kind of looked over at my brother, and October 12th, me and my brother were on the road and packed, and I was headed to Nashville.
Nice.
So I knew that I had to get up there and make the connections I needed to make and talk to the people and network as much as possible. And I was playing a lot and playing Broadway and playing on the street, just doing what I could. I was walking backstage. Not backstage. There's between Broadway and the Ryman, there's an alleyway.
Okay.
And I was walking back there, and I ran into little Jimmy Dickens in 2010.
Wow.
It was November of 2010, and I started talking to him, and he was such a down-to-earth guy, even at the age he was then. Sadly, he has passed away, and he started talking to me and brought me backstage at the Grand Old Opry that night.
Mm-hmm.
Introduced me to Josh Turner, and he said, "This is my friend Vince." I'm like, "That's Vince Gill." And of course, it's me sitting here with all these people that I've listened to for years, and he showed me the true country music back behind the stage in the dressing rooms, and he showed me the circle, and it all felt so real to me, and I knew that I couldn't give up. I kept going until I got my record deal in 2011. Released my first single, Redneck Radio. That hit the Billboard chart for us and did high on Music Row. And then Resident Redneck, that hit Billboard and high on Music Row. And then my new single, She's Done. And that's number 53 on Music Row, and I think number 60 right now on the Billboard Indicator chart. So it's all come together in an amazing way. I really give little Jimmy Dickens to thank for kind of showing me that.
It's an amazing, I think the Grand Old Opry, and I've had this conversation with a couple of artists that do a lot of work there in that area, like Jim Ed Brown and some of the other classics, you know. And I think the big thing is there's just a different feel there. It's truly where they open their arms and they open their hearts, and they want to really see country music continue and prosper, and it's in their blood and it's in their soul. And I think one of the things that's really cool about country music artists, and maybe this happens in other genres. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but they really, I mean, it's kind of a competition in a little bit, you know, on charts and stuff like that. But for the most part, they really want to see other people do well. And if they can help you, they will. And I just think that's really cool.
Yeah.
You know?
That's for sure.
You know, like that. Like little Jimmy, I met him once too. I was down at the Grand Old Opry, and I met him and had the opportunity to talk to him and people like Mel Tillis and you know, some of those guys, and they just talk to you like you're like at anybody, you know. It's just like, hey, how are you? You know, how you doing? You know, and you know, Ranger Doug from those guys, and it's just kind of interesting. They always just are like so down to earth and so cool and so willing to, you know, reach out a hand and shake it and ask you really how you are and mean the question. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Country music, it is like a big family. And when artists say that, when you see them on TV and stuff, they're not just saying that just because it sounds cool. It's completely so real.
Yeah.
I've had the honor to open up for Daryl Worley, Jason Aldean, Tyler Farr, Colt Ford. This year was Blake Shelton at Country Thunder, Big and Rich.
Mm-hmm.
John Rich actually wrote one of the songs on my album called Faster, Faster.
Uh-huh.
And all these guys would come off stage and we'd give each other hugs and say, good show. And Tyler Farr last year at Country Thunder walked up and gave me a handshake and said, man, that was a good show. I'm like, coming from you, you have no idea how cool that is.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's Jared Neiman this year, same thing. Phil Vassar this year.
Yeah. Phil's awesome.
We'll sit there and watch the shows. And
yeah.
We all watch each other's shows. We all talk to each other at the end of shows, and just like we all know each other, even though we just met. That's really cool.
Phil Vassar has played at our venue, and we invited him over to our studios, and he's like so laid back. He came over here in jogging pants and a t-shirt, stretched out on our couch, and was talking to us like for an hour. It's just casual conversation.
He's a cool guy.
He's really cool. Just really, really amazing kind of attitude, amazing dude, and I know they all are.
Incredibly talented.
Yeah. You put him in front of a piano, your jaw drops. You're like, holy shit, you know. It's like, whoo.
Yeah, when he did that at Country Thunder this year, his band was playing, everyone was playing, and he just got behind his piano and played a song. I was like, wow, that's real right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And he does it like it's effortless. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's amazing.
When he was doing our interview with us, he said, you know, he's like, there's not a piano I can't pass. He goes, if I go into a hotel and there's one sitting in the lobby, I got to go play it. He goes, even if it's just for a couple seconds, he's like, I can't pass a piano and not touch it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
He's very talented. But I mean, let's get back to your talent though. I mean, you've been doing some things and really kind of getting some nice exposure. And any of these guys, you know, I mean, if any of them, you know, had a tour opportunity and it's like, hey, let's bring this guy on and let's see how he does, and you get out there and, you know, obviously they respect you and they like your music and like what you're doing out there. So I mean, that in itself, whether it's an award or not, that's got to be pretty something amazing that you can, you know, kind of tuck a little feather in your hat sort of thing. You know what I mean? Am I right?
It's an amazing feeling to have these people behind you. I've had, like on Twitter, people retweet and message, and there's artists like John Rich, who's a supporter of mine, and he wrote Faster, Faster on the album, so he's obviously a supporter of mine. I have a song that is on my album, and he'll talk about me on Twitter and pass my name out, retweet things, and I went from like 2,000 followers on Twitter to 15,000 followers, 20,000 people on Facebook. And it's unreal the amount of people that, not just fans of one person, they're fans of just country music.
Yeah.
One big family. It's really cool.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about your album a little bit. Now, I know we're going to talk about your single that you have out there, and we're going to play it for the listening audience. But let's talk about the album and its release date and things along that nature. Tell us a little bit about the music.
Yeah, when I got signed in 2011, we kind of started putting together the whole process, and it's not just an overnight thing for sure. When people are working on albums, it doesn't just take a few minutes here and there. It takes time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really a cool feeling. But we released it officially in October of 2015, and it has 12 songs on it, and it's not easy to pick out the songs you want to put on an album because you get pitched thousands of songs. So you listen to them all, and you sit there and you go back and forth. You demo some if you like it, and you demo another one, you see if you like that one. You just keep going from there, and it's an incredible feeling.
Nice.
We put songs in there that I relate to, and I think people can relate to. And I wanted to do some party songs, and then I put some on there that are more traditional country songs. I have a big mix of songs on there, and the album's done really well for us.
Okay.
It's obviously available on any of those online retailers. You can get it on my website, too, at mattfarriscountry.com. There's 12 songs that, if you listen to it from track 1 to 12, you get to know exactly who I am, so it's really cool.
So the big question, you said people can get it on the electronics, the Amazons, the iTunes, and things along that line. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you, Matt? Is it the website at mattfarriscountry.com or?
Yeah, if you go to mattfarriscountry.com, and you can go to my Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, but mattfarriscountry.com, if you hit the contact thing, it doesn't go to some random publicist or somewhere. It goes right to me.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I like emailing back and forth with fans and talking with people on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, which Instagram I just got into, so I'm still learning that one. But we released a contest today on Instagram, which is kind of cool. We're giving away an autographed guitar for anybody that purchases my actual physical copy of my album from my website. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Okay.
Seeing how that goes. So.
I think I saw that. I saw that somewhere. I saw that you were doing that somewhere, and that's really cool. So there you go.
We want to give away a guitar, and we think that's a good way to do it, so people can hear the music, and now they'll be able to win a guitar and listen and be able to learn the music.
Yeah, and I was kind of hoping you would shoot me a couple of those CDs to also help get your music out a little bit. If I could, if there's any way you could shoot me a couple, I'll
definitely send you some.
Yeah, that way I can give them away in another week or two, or when I get my hands on them, remind people about you and about your music and things like that, and then let them have the opportunity to win one of your CDs. If you want to do that, that would be awesome. We'd love to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
I know my audience loves country music, and then they love it even better when they get it for free.
Yeah, I'll definitely send some. I'll send CDs, and I'll send some hats as well. I got a big sponsor, Summit Hats.
Okay.
It's the cowboy hat I wear, and I'll send some hats to give away and some to give away for.
As long as I'm allowed to keep one of each.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's awesome. Yeah, now that my listening audience is they're like, ooh, we gotta wait and find out when she's gonna have that stuff, because they're gonna be like ringing my phone off the hook for that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So let's get back to the music a little bit. So they can get your hand, if they want to get it now, they can get it through your website. And is it a self-titled album, Matt? What's the name of the album?
Yeah, it's self-titled, just Matt Farris. And
okay.
It's from track 1 to 12. It's literally like a story of my life. It's kind of cool. So. Now,
Matt, do you write some songs? Are you a writer, or is that really not your forte?
I've been writing a lot more lately.
Okay.
But on the first album, I wanted to put songs that I can relate to, that I didn't want to really take that much of a chance yet to put my own music out. So I got writers like John Rich,
right,
and writers like Jace Hines, who wrote Country Boys World for Jason Aldean,
right,
who wrote Party in the Making on my album. So I have some pretty heavy hitter songwriters on my album, and I'm really excited to get that out. And then the next album that we'll be working on this year will end up having some more of my writing on it.
Okay. That sounds good. Listen, I want to take a quick break if you can hang in there for me just a couple minutes.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. And when we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about the single that's out, though, because I want to play that for my listening audience and let them give a listen. But I would like to touch base on one or two more things yet with you when we come back. But I got to take a quick break and pay some bills, Matt. But if you hang on for me, we'll be back with a little bit more of Matt Farris, a little bit more about the man and his music. We're going to give a listen to his single that's out off of his self-titled album, which you can get your hands on through his website at mattfarriscountry.com. But if you guys just hang in there for just a minute, we'll be right back on Wall to Wall Country.
More Penn's Peak Radio coming right up.
And we're back with Mr. Matt Farris. You can find his music and all about the man at mattfarriscountry.com. Got a album out since the fall of last year, 12 songs on it. It's a self-titled album with his current single that's out there. It's called She's Done. Matt, now I want to touch base on this a little bit. You had kind of, I guess maybe in a way, a life-changing, life-altering something that happened in your life a little while ago that kind of helped you focus in on what was important in life. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that story?
Oh, yeah, that was it was May 1st of 2008. Me and my dad walked outside because people were trying to break into his truck, and all we said was stop. And a kid that was sitting in the front seat of the car, like the getaway car, decided to take a gun and shoot out the back window, and a bullet went through my dad and into my chest.
Oh, my gosh.
And then they shot several more times, but luckily my dad is a SWAT medic. He had his gun behind his left hand, and he shot back, which made them leave, or else we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah. Wow. And that's one way to focus in on what's important in life, is to have some major tragedy like that happen. I mean, that's just crazy that both of you walked away from that.
Definitely a change there.
Yeah. And I guess maybe that's some of the things that happen to people and really kind of help them focus in on some things and decide what they are going to do for a living or whatever, and helps them, forget about the little stuff. The stuff that's important is the things that you need to concentrate on, and that was a turning point in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a huge turning point in my life and all our family's lives. It's something we can look back on now. And one of the guys that was involved is actually in prison for 35 years because me and my dad survived and was able to go to court and pick out the guy. And he's sitting in prison for 35 years. So.
That's just crazy. But that's where you made some changes, and then, you moved on. In 2011 is when you moved to Nashville and, kind of jumped on the bandwagon of that, and I just think that's awesome. Something else that you have, and I think it's interesting because a lot of artists have something in particular that they feel that's close, dear to their heart, and something else that might help you, kind of focus in on what's important again is something that you support, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and one of the other ones is the American Cancer Society, focusing on breast cancer awareness. Why is that so important to you, Matt?
I've always believed that giving back musically, and I've gone to so many hospitals, and I got involved in that in August of 2010. One of my best friends growing up called me and said, Mom has cancer. And when meaning Mom was that mom in high school where if I knew I was going to get in trouble for something I did, I don't go home, I go to her house. And we decided that we wanted to just go ahead and throw a party for keep her spirits up. So we came up with Denise's Day, which is a breast cancer benefit concert.
Mm-hmm.
I got a hold of a friend of mine with Adam Gregory, who's a Canadian country music artist, and he came down in August, and it was 126 degrees outside and absolutely miserable, but totally worth what we were able to do. And we had 300 people show up. I thought maybe 50 people would show up. And just seeing her happiness that night and the joy it brought to her having those friends and family around her, the support of the local community around her, we decided to let's keep it going. But we moved it to March, which was closer to her birthday, so we did it March of 2011. But sadly, she passed away in February of 2011.
Aww.
So we kept it going in her name, and we still do it every year. And this year we raised over $30,000 for local families in Lake Havasu that are battling cancer.
That's crazy.
And since then, I've got involved with Make-A-Wish and have been able to make a lot of wishes come true and bring people to different concerts and meet different artists and go to CMA Music Festival with a couple of the Make-A-Wish families and go to do house calls for people that can't come out of their house because they're battling. go to their house and play guitar for them and sing for them. I've been able to do a lot with that. I've lost a lot of them now to cancer. Lost a 7-year-old boy named Clinton, 16-year-old girl named Kay, a 12-year-old girl named McKamey, and a 4-year-old just recently that passed away. But knowing for those couple hours I got to spend with them and brighten their day for a couple hours, and their families truly believe it gave them a little more time. That's something really cool to me, because that time is really important, especially now, because I do have a 3-year-old now, so it's really important for me to make sure families are always having a good time and happy, and
right.
even through those hard times, I know for those couple hours I'm hanging out with them and playing for them and doing what I can to make them happy is totally worth it.
Well, one of the things I wanted to, I mean, everybody knows how to get a hold of Make-A-Wish Foundation, but we have listeners all over the place that somebody might be interested in finding out more about Denise's day. There's actually a website that they can find out more information and maybe make a donation or find out more.
Yeah, the new website is Denise's Day LHC, Lake Havasu City, Denise's Day LHC.org. Sorry.
And that's where they can find out information about how you can help out some of the families in that area, even if it's a small donation, or find out when your concert is and maybe come out and see it and support that and help support some of those families that might need a little bit of help at that point in time. That's pretty
cool. Every March.
Yeah, every March. Awesome. That's good to know. We'll make sure that we mention that out there and let people know. And also, of course, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which most people are well aware of that, particular organization. But if you guys want to get more information on the one for Lake Havasu, it's Denise's Day LHC.org, so you guys can check into that as well and find out when Matt will be playing out there in next March, and maybe go out and support the concert. Speaking of your music, Matt, you have a single out right now. It's called "She's Done." Do you want to tell us a little bit about why you picked that one as your single to be out there off this album, Matt?
Oh, when we were getting through the song, I was going through a pretty bad breakup at the time. Mm-hmm. And that song just hit home, and I was like, I was able to put the emotion that song needs behind it in the studio, and I can still do that now too, live, and it's I think it's more of traditional, I would say. It's not really that pop sound. Some people say it's like a rock ballad, and I think it kind of is, but it has that country story behind it, and it's a powerful story, and there is a music video to it on YouTube, and it's right on my front page of my website at mattfarriscountry.com. You can watch the video for it, kind of see the story behind the song, so it's really cool.
Now, this song is currently sitting on Music Row at the 53rd position this week. It was at 57, and it's been on the charts for 13 weeks, doing some climbing. Actually, it's ahead of Big and Rich by one with one of their songs.
I definitely sent that to John Rich the other day. I'm like, hey, look, buddy.
I know. I'm sure he was like, yeah, whatever, dude. We're going to pass you. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah, he's a great supporter, and it's awesome to know that artists like that are sitting there with me on the chart. And
right.
It's such a cool feeling to see that.
Yeah. So we're going to try to get this out there a little bit more and push that number closer to closer to where you want it to be. But hanging out on the 53rd spot in Music Row is not too shabby. Not too shabby indeed.
Yeah, we need to try to get it into the 40s here.
All right. Well, you know what? We're going to play it for our listening audience, and hopefully they'll be able to get their paws on it and push that number just up a little bit. We're going to take a bottom of the hour ID. We're going to play Matt's song, and we're going to be back a little bit more with him on how you can reach him and get your hands on his music in just a moment. Don't go anywhere, folks. We've got Matt Farris with us on the Wall to Wall Country Show right here on Penn's Peak Radio.
Hey, it's Matt Farris. You're listening to Casey on Wall to Wall Country.
eyes, cold and indifferent, keeping her distance as he lays it on thick to see if he can make her cry. But she's done her fair share of crying, and her tears have all fallen away. She's done her fair share of trying now. There ain't much more she can say, 'cause she's done. Now she's just done. He goes back in time, way back in time, pulls out a picture-perfect postcard memory. It's a distraction, one fact in fiction, based in the truth, but it's mostly fantasy. She's done her fair share of crying, and her tears have all fallen away. She's done her fair share of trying now. There ain't much more she can say, 'cause she's done. Now she's just done. He's trying so hard in so many ways to break her down. She'll be damned if she stays one more day. She's gotta get out now. She's gotta get out. She's done her fair share of crying, and her tears have all fallen away. She's done her fair share of trying, so now there ain't much to say. She's done her fair share of crying, and her tears have all fallen away. She's done her fair share of trying, so there ain't much more she can say. She's done. Now she's just done. He goes back in time, way back in time, pulls out a picture-perfect postcard memory.
She's done. Brand spanking new music from Mr. Matt Farris right here on Penn's Peak Radio. And sitting currently at number 53 on the Music Road charts and looking to do some climbing. So if you guys like that song, make sure you check it out. Find Matt Farris at mattfarriscountry.com. Look for his self-titled album, and maybe you can get your hands on his music through his website. He's also on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and you could also walk away with a guitar from Matt as well. So lots of good stuff going on with this guy. Matt, can you give us a clue on what's new? What's going to be going on? Can you give us a wink, wink, nudge, nudge of something in the future soon?
Well, I'm definitely doing a lot more touring right now. I'm in Laughlin, Nevada, doing a residency at the Aquarius Casino.
Mm-hmm.
And then in June, I'll obviously be in Nashville for CMA Fest, so I will be at the CMA Awards, CMT Awards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Headed to Oregon in June for 2 weeks at a residency at a casino up there, and just doing a lot more shows and booking a lot more things.
Okay.
We're talking about doing show up in Ohio sometime in July. Hopefully, maybe getting up to Pennsylvania eventually.
Yeah, if you
we're definitely doing a lot of touring right now. Just getting out on the road as much as possible, and in the middle of it, writing songs while I'm on the road and while I'm sitting in the rooms at these casinos and hotels. Just trying to get my name out there as much as I can and get She Done, keep going up the charts, thankfully, and hopefully new music by the end of the year for sure.
Well, make sure you keep us in mind if you do end up in eastern side of Pennsylvania or close to us. You know, we're a little bit out of New York City and New Jersey. We're in the Pocono Mountains on the east side, and I always open up the door to all my artists. If you happen to be near enough that you can take a trek up here, we'd love to have you in the studio and do a little impromptu kind of stuff right here. Bring your guitar. We'd love to have you. I always invite all my artists to swing by if you get the chance. So keep that in mind, Matt.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Always love to have you on board. Check out his website, mattfarriscountry.com. You can check out his music, his photos, videos, tour. You can shop for his resident redneck shirts and sweatshirts and things along that line. He's also got his music on there and things along that. And you can also find out where he's going to be hanging out. Find a way to get your hands on his music on CD Baby and iTunes and all that kind of stuff. And be listening in a future show here. Matt promises me some CDs and a couple of cowboy hats. Maybe we'll get some people hooked up with that stuff and help spread the word to help that song climb the charts a little better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd love to send you guys some stuff and give it away and make sure you guys get some pictures of them wearing it.
Yeah, I could do that and put them on Instagram for you and tag you on it.
Awesome.
That would be cool. That would have to be the deal. I'm not giving you you have to come here for the hat, and we need a picture of you. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
So that would be awesome.
Have to take a selfie with the hat.
There you go. I will for sure with mine. Mine? Yeah, I will with mine.
Awesome.
I love hats. I love cowboy hats. So you've got a lot of things going on. You've had quite already the career, a couple of notches in your belt already, to say the least, Matt. And, you know, it sounds like you're on the right track. Your heart's in the right place for country music for sure. And, you know, we just wish you all the best. And I really hope things work out for you. And just keep us in mind if you're in the area, man. I'd love to have you swing by here.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm definitely planning on hitting the East Coast here pretty soon, so.
Well, that would be great, and you know, we'll make sure that my whole show re-airs on a Sunday morning, so this whole thing will be repeated Sunday morning, and kind of remind everybody again about you and your music and your album, your self-titled album, which they can get their hands on through your website. And if they're interested in helping out with some of the organizations that you support, including Make-A-Wish Foundation, they can find information about Denise's Day, ALHC.org, and maybe track you down in March and come see you there. So that would be fun too.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, there you go. Well, anything else you'd like to add, Matt? I know you're gonna be busy with some touring and things along that line this summer and getting your music out there. Anything else you want to let our listening audience in on?
Just remind them that contest going on with the guitar right now. We're giving away an autographed guitar on June 1st. So anybody that buys an album from today until June 1st at mattfarriscountry.com, the invoice will go to the email, and I'll get everybody's email, and I'll end up picking one of the emails myself and emailing them personally, congratulating them that they want a guitar autograph from me.
Well, that's awesome. So you guys want to keep that in mind too, and that is only until June 1st. So they've just got a couple of weeks yet that they can get involved in that.
Yeah, we wanted to do it a couple of weeks to give people time and get some people involved, and hopefully be able to give away some things. And what we'll do is we'll give away that guitar, and I'll probably end up giving away a couple shirts and a couple other things for people that buy the album. So.
Okay, and they can do that directly through your website.
Yep, right at mattfarriscountry.com. That you buy a physical CD, and I autograph every one of them personally before they go out. So.
There you go. There you go. And that's MattFarris. I want to make sure we get that out there so people are finding you pretty easily. But, and you're the Facebook dude and you're the Twitter dude, so if people have questions or want to know a little bit more about your schedule and what you got going on, they can track you down that way as well. And I know you and I had a Twitter conversation this morning.
Yeah, I was so confused.
That's okay. Twitter does that to people sometimes. I don't like how it's limited to so many characters because it kind of messes things. You gotta say things tactfully.
Yeah.
So you can get it all out there. But I'm glad we got connected, and I wish you good luck on your song. We'll be playing it here and trying to support you in that way and letting people know about your music, Matt. But good luck in everything that you have going on, and all the best to you for sure.
All right. Thank you again very much for having me.
All right, no problem. And you know how to reach me. You know how to get in touch with me. Stay in touch, my friend, and I hope to hear you traveling up to Pennsylvania soon.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Take care, sir.